Niagara Falls are a stunning set of three powerful waterfalls located on the border between the state of New York in the United States and the province of Ontario in Canada. And the largest of the falls, Horseshoe Falls, lies directly on this border, with its claimed ownership being split between the two nations. Niagara Falls are a breathtaking sight to behold in person, as these fast-flowing falls are fed by the powerful waters of the Niagara River. Notably, the falls have drawn in throngs of tourists seeking to see them for themselves for over a century, with small cities with numerous lodgings to accommodate these tourists, subsequently emerging near the falls on both sides of the border. Furthermore, the sheer volume of water that flows through the Niagara River has also made the region ideal for building hydroelectric power plants, which, if you're a longtime viewer of my videos, you might recall the video I made a couple years back detailing two divers who were sucked into one of these hydroelectric dams' water intakes back in the year 2007. Due to the close proximity between the two cities on each side of the border and the abundance of visitors to Niagara Falls annually, naturally, a centralized border checkpoint bridge, known as the Rainbow Bridge, was constructed to conveniently connect the US and Canada, with security checkpoints to screen entrance located on each respective side of this bridge. Furthermore, unlike many of the US-Canada border crossings in the region, the Rainbow Bridge also notably sports clearly designated sidewalks to facilitate pedestrian crossings of the border as well. Speaking also entirely from my own first-hand experience, this checkpoint is also one of the quickest and most hassle-free borders to cross, even by foot, as there are rarely more than a few cars or people backed up on either side of this busy but relatively quiet border crossing. However, in November of 2023, the checkpoint on the American side of the border would suddenly erupt into a scene of widespread chaos and confusion in a mere instant, as this bizarre and deadly incident would shock and bewilder millions of onlookers worldwide. On Wednesday, November 22nd, 2023, a New York resident and successful local business owner of 8G's lumber locations, a 53-year-old man named Kurt Villani, and his wife, a 53-year-old woman named Monica Villani, had made plans to attend the concert of one of their favorite bands, Kiss, in Ontario that evening. However, the couple would be met with disappointment when they would learn that the show had been cancelled after Paul Stanley had fallen ill with the flu. Despite the cancellation of the show, the couple had seemingly decided to try to make the best of the day regardless, and set off from their home in nearby Grand Island, New York, making their way to the Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino in their white 22 Bentley Flying Spur. The couple would only stop at the casino for a few brief minutes before heading back out onto the roads and began to make their way towards the Rainbow Bridge border checkpoint, which is located not far from the casino. However, after their departure from the casino, as the couple made their way towards the checkpoint, the White Bentley, which notably is advertised to sport an acceleration rate of 0 to 96 kilometers per hour in a span of just 5 seconds, would rapidly pick up speed. As the Bentley barreled towards the border checkpoint at high speeds, the vehicle would fail to make a right-hand turn following the road, which sent the luxury car careening into a nearby, rather high median. This would, in turn, subsequently launch the speeding vehicle into the air, as the Bentley Flying Spur quite literally flew into a fence at the checkpoint after launching high up into the air in an unbelievable fashion, leading many to compare the jump to a scene straight out of an action movie. Upon impacting the fence, the car would violently erupt into an explosive fireball as shocked border agents and travelers at the checkpoint at the time of the collision scrambled away from the chaos toward safety, and photos and security video footage of the Bentley launching from the median would rapidly begin to circulate worldwide. Both Kurt and Monica Villani were killed on impact. However, fortunately, there were no further injuries as a result of the collision. In the immediate aftermath of the incident, the Bentley and the flames that had resulted from the crash were extinguished by first responders, and due to the incident's occurrence at a border checkpoint, this would initially draw suspicions that the incident may have been a targeted attack. The FBI would almost immediately begin an investigation into the bizarre incident alongside local officials. Notably, however, it would not take the FBI long to deem that the crash had not resulted from a targeted attack, as Kurt and Monica were longtime New York residents with no ties to domestic or international militant groups and had no known major grievances with the US government that would spur on their participation in such an attack, and thus local officials were left to piece together the likely cause of the collision. Local investigators would, much like the FBI had, rule out that the collision had been the result of a deliberate act, as the couple were seemingly very happy and satisfied with their lives, and were very wealthy as well, with no outstanding financial issues. Their discoveries were contrary to many rumors at the time that the driver of the Bentley had perhaps deliberately drove the vehicle into the checkpoint. However, between interviews with the couple's family, neighbors, and friends, and the surveillance footage from the casino that showed that the couple had only visited the casino for a few mere minutes, investigators would turn their attention towards other possible remaining factors that could have led to the collision, particularly that the car could have accelerated due to a defect, or that Kurt Villani, the driver, could have suffered a medical incident such as a heart attack or stroke while behind the wheel. The former was suspected by the mayor of Niagara Falls, Robert Restiano, who stated to the New York Times that he believed that the incident was the result of some kind of mechanical glitch with the car. Notably, there had been some recalls from Bentley Motors regarding the 2022 Flying Spurs. However, the recalls were centered around interior TV brackets and improper seatbelt installation, and while there had been some recalls of the previous year's 2021 Flying Spurs due to accelerators sticking, these recalls and instances of accelerators sticking were only reported in right-hand drive models of the vehicle. However, due in large part to the extensive damage to the vehicle and its occupants during the fiery and explosive crash, despite investigators' best efforts to retroactively piece together the events that led up to the unbelievable crash, as of the time of making this video at least, investigators have not released an official cause for the tragic collision, even months after issuing a subpoena to Bentley Motors to investigate that particular Bentley's service and internal computer history, and it will likely remain a mystery as to what exactly led to the Flying Spur's unbelievable final flight that gloomy November day. Thank you all for watching.